A warm welcome to everyone and namaste. So I welcome back to the yet another episode about the success formula from Bhagavad Gita. Let us quickly recap what we discussed in our last session. So in the last session we discussed about some interesting quotes about success. We discussed about the first D formula. I said I will discuss about 4D formula for success from Bhagavad Gita, and in the last episode we discussed about the first D, which is desire. And we concluded by saying how Krishna analyzes about desire, how desire manifests from Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter, 62nd verse. Then we concluded with Shankaracharya's beautiful verse about Angam Galitam Palitam Mundam Dashanavihinam Jatam Tundam Vruddho Yati Grihitva Dandam Tadapina Munchati Asha Pindam. So now we will go to the next formula, that is second D. So now coming back, as I said, I will be discussing about one particular story in continuation with all the 4Ds. It's about the student. So now a student has got a desire that I am going to top the college, I am going to top the school, I am going to become the first in the college. Now is that desire sufficient? Now many of us, we have decided that I will do best in my business, I will do best performance in my company, career. Is that desire sufficient? No. What we need is the second step or second D, and that second D I call it as direction. So first D is desire and second D is direction. So come, let us explore what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita about direction. So Krishna speaks about direction from Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter 34th verse. He says, Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So when Arjuna was in confusion, Arjuna surrendered to Krishna to guide him, to direct him. So then Krishna directed, and in that Krishna actually tells all of us about how we should take direction. Very interesting. This is from Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter 34th verse. Come, let's analyze this. So what exactly Krishna is saying in this verse? So I have given a title for this verse 4.34 as how to get direction. So Krishna tells the first step is Tadviddi pranipatena. So pranipat. So what is that pranipat? Also the word prapat also comes from this word. So pranipatena means to approach an expert or a guru. All of us in our life, whatever we want to do, if we want to become expert, before becoming an expert, we should also approach an expert. Or in their field, they are known as guru or a teacher or a guide or a counselor or a mentor. So first step is pranipat. We need to approach an expert or a guru. What is the second step? Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena. So pariprashnena means we need to inquire. What should be our attitude while inquiring? It should be submissively we have to inquire. So many times we learn little bit and we become very arrogant and there is an attitude. So whenever we approach a guru, we try to test the guru. That is not a good approach. So we should approach the guru in a submissive mood. So we need to inquire submissively and ask them questions. How to do, what to do, why to do, how much to do. So all these things should be done in a very submissive mentality or submissive mood. Now the third step. So the first step is we need to approach an expert or a guru. Second step, pariprashnena, submissively inquire. And the third step is sevaya. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. What is seva? Seva means service. We need to render service. Why? Because that is the way to show our gratitude to the Guru. So it is not just we go and learn and come back. But in the current situation, in the current scenario, in the modern world, this service is translated into paying the fees. So we pay the fees to a guru, learn from them and go away. But in the Vedic culture, whenever a student goes to a guru, he stays with the guru, he learns from him and then he renders service unto him. So what happens when we serve the guru? The guru is pleased. When guru becomes very pleased about the student, then he will bless him. And that blessing, that Ashirvad is very important for the student. So that is why Krishna is saying these three things: Pranipatena, Pariprashnena, Sevaya. For example, I say now I want to go from Bangalore to Mysore or Bangalore to Chennai or Chennai to Bombay. You take any place, from one place to another place if I want to go. What do I need? I need direction. Either I have to go and ask a person who is very good at directions, or now we have a very special thing inside our mobile. What is that? That is GPS. So we can use our GPS. Again, this GPS is also nothing but a guru from whom we are learning. We are taking direction. So from one place to another place, if I want to travel, I need direction, a GPS system. So I tell this GPS system, define GPS as not global positioning system, but in our Vedic style, I tell GPS as Guru Parampara system. So we need to be in the Parampara of Guru, and then it becomes easy for us to get direction. Another interesting story. One time there was a board called No Entry, and a man entered that road. So to travel from one place to another place, we all need the help of GPS. What is the full form of GPS? It says Global Positioning System. But in our Vedic culture, we also had GPS. Even though technologically we were not so advanced in few decades ago or 100 years ago, but still we were using GPS. What is the full form of GPS in the Vedic culture? I call it as Guru Parampara system. So we would get directions through Guru Parampara system, through gurus, the chain of disciplic succession. So that is direction. Now another interesting story to understand about this concept. One time there was a board in the starting point of the road called No Entry, meaning no one should enter the road. But still a person was daring enough, he entered on his bike on the same road. A cop caught him and he said, "Dear sir, didn't you see the board that there was no entry in this road, but still you came here?" And this person gave an excuse saying, "Dear police, can you see there a buffalo also entered the road?" You are not saying anything to the buffalo, but you are telling me. And all of you understood. And the cop also understood that this person is no better than a buffalo. He is behaving like that. Then a cop was the man of wisdom. He explained him, "Sir, buffalo is an animal. If buffalo enters the no entry road, what do? We take a big stick and beat the buffalo and tell the buffalo just go on the other side of the road. But for you, should I beat you also?" Then he understood, he got his lesson. So my point here is, for buffalo, it needs shastra, beatings to understand the reality of life. But for a civilized person, he doesn't need shastra, but he needs shastra. So through shastra also we can teach lesson, but for a person who has lower conscious level, but a person who is more civilized, who is little intelligent enough, for him we give him shastra, and shastra is nothing but the direction, which direction to take, where to go, and to achieve our goal. That is the difference between shastra and shastra, and both the words coming from the same root word called shas dhatu, meaning to protect. Shastra actually protects, Shastra also protects us. And I always tell people who have got a right guide in their life are the most fortunate people in this world. So if you have a guide, a guru, a counselor or a mentor, then definitely you are very lucky or fortunate. If you don't have one, please find a person who is senior to you, who has got wisdom, intelligence, maturity, and take guidance from that person, and life becomes easier when we have direction. If there is no GPS, just imagine how much difficulty it becomes to reach our destination. Same way, if we have a direction, if we have a guru in our life, then life becomes easy. That is the point. Now, we discussed first desire, second direction. Now, coming back to the story of a student. Now, student has got desire. I am going to top the college, I am going to top the school. And now just desire is not sufficient. Then what happens? He needs direction. Now the student has got the right direction. He had approached a good teacher, some of his good friends, and he is getting direction also. They tell him, don't study everything because time is very less for the exam. Just study few chapters, 70% of the portion you cover so that you will be able to score 80%, 85%, and they give him direction. Now, is that enough? Now, is that enough? Just desire and direction is sufficient to achieve success? No. And to achieve success, we need the third D, and third D stands for determination. And what Krishna wants to say about determination from Bhagavad Gita? So Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 41st verse gives us some interesting information about determination. It tells, Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kurunandana bahushakahi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. So, when Arjuna was losing his enthusiasm, losing his determination to fight, at that time Krishna opens up with this beautiful, interesting analogy and understanding about what is determination. Come, let's analyze this verse. This is Bhagavad Gita 2.41. So, Krishna in this verse explains those who are determined, what are their characteristics, and those who are not determined, what are their characteristics. So, we will continue after the break.